Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, that is. What's up, guys? Yeah, you better fucking salute. Put my hat on. Hey. No, I just had to get off of VR. It gets so loud and congested and annoying. It just becomes a contest of whoever can speak the fucking loudest gets to have the floor. And when you actually sit and listen to people talk, they talk about the most fucking boring, mundane things. As if their life is so important and special.
The world is ending
but
next
it's
year.
Boring.
What should we do? Well, if the world's ending next year, I guess it's time to do all the things you were too scared to do. Like, I don't know, finally learning how to parallel park. Or maybe even telling your crush you like them. But hey, if all else fails, just remember, you can always count on a Ford F-150 to get you through the apocalypse in style. It's built tough after all. Built Ford tough.
Yeah, that's true, guys. You heard it here first. You better hurry on to your Ford dealership and grab an F-150. Because that's probably the vehicle you want for the end of the world, you know? The vehicle that's been tested and proven by the apocalypse. Actually, it's not fucking Ford, it's actually Toyota. You know how I know? It's because that's the shit they use in the Middle East. And they use that stuff in, like, South America, too. I think the cartels are the ones that... They roll in the F-150s. But I mean, that's the cartel. If you want a real fucking, like, war zone, Toyota. While my browser takes its sweet time loading up anything, it's not just a YouTube thing, it's like whenever I start it. But yeah, that's the one. That's the one, Bera. I was just pulling it up. No matter where you go, like in the Middle East, in Africa. I don't know. What are you gonna do? Sit on the truck bed and raid? They should make it like a Leroy Jenkins commercial. With them as trucks. Do you guys ever feel like something's gonna happen? You're one of those people. Check it out, baby. Look at this. Look at that. You call an Uber, they pick up the whole entire village. What the hell? Where is this? In Somalia? You got your surfer, and you got your pirates. Yar. You got whoever the fuck this is. Probably dead now. This is the truck you want. I like this one. This one's pretty good. What? So for those of you who answered yes, you feel like something's going to happen. So let me ask you. What? What do you think is going to happen? Tell me. What? No way. Really? Well, throw out some theories out there. Share some theories that you might have. Like, there's a million ways to go out. What way do you think it would be? Jesus Christ, Panda. I didn't mean like that. What? Guys, I'm not talking about your personal issues. Just to clarify, I'm talking about, like, societal. Like the world stage. Look at the title of this stream. It's The World is Ending Next Year, not Panda's world is ending next year from eating too many fucking McDoubles. Gorge yourself on cheeseburgers. What would you guys do if you knew that you only had a year left to live? knows what I would do. Stream, I guess. The end of the world will be streams right here. Mm. If you knew, if you knew ahead of time, aside from doing all the things that you've ever wanted to do, and mm, how many of you would prepare or try to? Well, whatever you guys decide to do, bring a crowbar, 'cause you're gonna need it. I'd argue it's probably the best melee weapon that you could have on hand. Well, the past months, I've been kind of keeping my head out of that stuff, for my own mental sake. So I've been out of the loop, for sure. Do you guys keep like a bug out bag? Probably not the worst idea to have one, like in your closet or something. Or like in your car trunk. But it's also really important to pack strictly only what you need and to travel lightly. You don't want to overpack and overburden yourself with things that you don't need. So it's important to know what those essentials are. I'm sure you guys also know that when a crisis strikes, the best thing you can do is bunker down at home. You do not want to leave right away. You want to have a bug out bag, but you don't want to aim to be like one of the first to leave. And not only that, but where would you go and why, right? It's very situational. I think a lot of things with prepping, people tend to focus on their resources, water, and food, and weapons. But, the more you have, the more you stand to lose from others that will just come and take it, especially if other people learn about it or already know about it previously. But it's interesting because there's there's always there's always prophets, false messiahs, and the world was gonna end with Y2K. Planes would fall out of the sky. The world was gonna end with the Mayan calendar back in 2012. It didn't. And the world didn't end with COVID. Though that could just be like a prototype. Because there's always a lot of buzz now about Disease X. And actually, I think there was just the second case of somebody here in the US getting the bird flu today. And in the past months, there have been cases of that also happening in China, where concrete word or rumors got out, but they were quickly squashed down, as China does, right? Though sad to say that whatever does happen, whatever way it happens, if there was a giant collapse, I just don't think it would be like the French Revolution where you just simply eat the rich and life is okay again or better. I think it would look more twisted and distorted than it already is. I think it would be reestablished in the imperfect ways that we see. Like on The Walking Dead and stuff, you know? With the different societies and communities that were imperfect and, much more flawed than modern day before the collapse. There would be some kind of, if anything, some kind of pseudo-utopian world. Like in The Giver. Or in The Hunger Games. And how do we know that that hasn't already happened? How do we know we're not in some kind of timeline where, ancient Egypt, Atlantis, those were actual worlds that existed on the timeline? There's always there always seems to be a plethora of problems and ways that we can go out, whether it's a solar flare, an asteroid, the zombie apocalypse, Terminator, nuclear war, civil war. There's always something, right? But where's all the solutions to counter those things? Aren't there more ways that we couldn't go out? Time is constant, and change is the only real certainty. Everything always changes. We're always in a constant state of change, right? So, mm, You guys know about the plans for next year, the project 2025? Yeah, this is simply Wednesday for me. For better, for worse. You guys don't know about that, really? No way. Surely you've heard some bits or pieces about it. Yeah, no, it's pretty much like the handbook that's been written and published. That kind of outlines the fascist takeover of the American government. You know, come November. Yeah, so that's the plan, to like ban anime once and for all. And if you think I'm kidding about that, I know. Okay. Yeah, look. This is like in front of every anime convention ever. They always have these very fun folk attend the conventions. They don't pay for the passes and actually go inside though. They like to hang around outside. So, here, have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG, Final Fantasy XIV, with a free trial, which you can play through A Realm Reborn and the award-winning Heaven's Word expansion? You're up to level 60 for free, even with no restrictions or on playtime. I know they need to update their little poster here. I know. It was a different time, you guys. It was a different year. But, you know, repent, turn to Jesus, or burn. Baku no Pico is best anime. Alright, Holy Bible. Repent and believe the gospel. Anime Expo. You know, Jesus washes away our sins. So does, Kaworu. Hulk kneel before cross of Christ, and Hulk repent. You know what my favorite one was, though? It was, it was this one. Like at Comic Con, they would have things like this, Vader's Lord, but they had a massive one here with like robots, and it was just like destroy all humans, led by Bender. But yeah, they're gonna come for your anime. Seems happy. Get that happy shit out of here. But project2025.org. Building now for conservative victory through policy, personnel, and training. So this is the plan. I mean, they've already started it. Yeah, I showed you guys. Yeah. I think it's look, March 11. This happened like last month. Trump's team is slashing Republican National Committee staff amid takeover. So anyone who's not like a devout loyalist, they're literally draining the swamp. This is what he really meant. And especially come second term, this is what happened and what's going on. They're setting up the board, right? They're getting all the pieces aligned strategically. So when push comes to shove, there's very little friction that they have to go through to get what they want. But you can read this. It's the whole thing. You know, 30 chapters of indoctrination. I believe it opens up a PDF file here. Yeah, see? Mandate for leadership. It's like the modern day Mein Kampf. But they outline so much. It's just here, like right in the open. No shame, no nothing. For everyone to read. And they outline how they're gonna go through all the woke culture and all the LGBT and stuff like that. Probably where the camps are gonna be located. Just goes on and on. But I'm not really here to talk about this per se. I'm just saying that it's a thing if you want to check out. Did you guys hear that there's also there's always this stupid fucking shit about the year 2027 and aliens, and there's gonna be like this undeniable proof and event and disclosure taking place. That's a big thing, and that started like last year, the rumors of that. And there's all these stories and calculations. It's a whole thing. Do I believe it? No. You know? But it's there. I'm not saying that it's real or not, or that I believe it. I'm just pointing it out to you guys that it's a thing and it's there. If you wanna, you know, look it up for yourselves, you're more than welcome to. Yeah. Why did I put C? Disease X. this is something too that's being recently discussed. They had like the World Forum in the past couple months. Even when we watch, yeah, Nibiru, Disease X, Twitter X, X-Men just made a comeback on, what is it, Hulu or Netflix? Oh god. Guys, no, oh my god. No! I'm having my crazy Menhera episode. This is not a good time, Tambo Club. It's not a good time. No. You guys don't understand. Syphilis is serious. Go here and you can get a free STDcheck.org today. From the American Heart Foundation, apparently. So, if you suspect that you or your partner have syphilis, which I hear runs rampant in the Tambo community, look no further. Believe me, Beraz told me the horror stories about you guys. Fucking filthy. I'm just kidding, guys. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for stopping by. And when I come in and around more, I mean, I want to come in more. Who doesn't, right? But I'm shy. Oh my god. But yeah, the world's ending next year, and I'm trying to do my part to help you guys out and like figure that shit out, because, you know, I understand that navigating the end of the world can be a little dicey sometimes. It can be a little tricky. You know? Not all of us has done it before, but I'm very experienced in it. So I'm here to help you guys. Look at this. Syphilis cases in the US are skyrocketing, even as rates for other STIs like gonorrhea and chlamydia are flat or declining. Look at this. It can be passed to a fetus at any stage. So for those of you here who are preggo, you can give your baby syphilis. Did you know that if you have syphilis and you give birth, if you give birth vaginally and you have syphilis, your child can go blind. Did you know that?
Now, this is epic.
Damn it. What the fuck? What kind of timing was that? Well, thank you, Pete. Thank you for that. It's just, I mean, it's pretty epic. I mean, think about it. If you're blind, you can't watch hentai, you can't I mean, you can still fap, but you can only fap to listening to hentai, and it's just not as fun for some of us. So, take what you can get, I suppose. Anyways, back to... Ignore that. Alright. Back to the empty, dark YouTube screen here. Oh my god, dude. I'm never gonna be ready for any raids, am I? Anyways, let's check these things out, because you know what? I ran into a friend on VR chat yesterday, and we're just trying to play some fucking chess. We're all being a group of nerds, nerding out at Chess Club World or whatever the hell it was. And so I run into this friend. You guys remember Miyu, right? Miyu now? Yeah. And, you know, I was like, oh, hey, long time no see. It's been a while. How are you? How are things? How are the kids? And she goes, Ari, do you know that the world, like, something's gonna happen soon? And I'm like, well, things are always happening. What's happening? You know? She has kids? I don't know. She might. I don't know her life. She lives on the other side of the world. I don't know. To be honest, between you and me, chat, I don't even know if she's fat or not. Think about that. Think about all the people that you know online and on VR chat. You have no idea whether or not they're overweight. And then ask yourself, how many ties, how many bonds, how many years of online friendship would you cut off in an instant if you found out that they were fat? Don't lie to yourself, and don't lie to me, because I know you guys would. At least you have, you know? Listen.
何それ
Listen.
投げキッスだよ。
I know listen. I know 5 fat people in my life. I know 5 fat people, and truckers at least 4 of them. Also, thank you, trucker. You're so sweet. See? Guilty as charged. There. No, Crizzle, you're the 5th. Alright? I plead the 5th. I plead the Crizzle. You're going to jail. See what I did there? Alright, I'm gonna start opening some links, you guys. I'm gonna start opening some links. And I keep on, like, almost doxing someone here. But this one messes with me a lot. How many of you guys know about the Bohemian Grove? Because this is something that I knew about years ago, and this is something that's been actually going on for the longest time, since at least like the 50s. So to preface this a little bit, the Bohemian Grove is like this annual summer camp in California, in Sonoma County, like where the redwood trees are north of San Francisco. But a lot of the world's elites gather there. So you guys have heard of like the Freemasons and stuff like that, the Knights Templar? You know how the Freemasons are like this like public, but they're like the secretive men's club, men only kind of thing. I don't know the rules. Maybe I think like anyone could pretty much be a Freemason if you're a man. No rules allowed, but they don't really talk or know about what happens in those meetings. Maybe it's just like an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, who knows? So, but you have these elites who are like current and former presidents, like people like JFK have been there. And so I can imagine a lot of business deals go down, a lot of money probably moves around during this event. Probably a lot of drugs and trafficking, human trafficking, prostitution, all sorts of things. Have you seen Handmaid's Tale? The show? It's probably something like that, where the main character guy goes to. So let me pull it up here. I admit this video, I haven't seen it, but it's probably a whole lot of nothing. But I think it is a little bit intriguing because where the fuck is it? Oh, also this guy. This guy too, Alex Jones. So Alex Jones, I think, wanted to go to Bohemian Grove, like back in the late 90s, but he was not allowed. So what did he do? He tried to sneak in and he like recorded footage of what took place there. Something like that. I don't know for sure. I just kind of read about it a little last night. But like in the late 90s, he like leaked some stuff about it. And I think this is how it like came to light in the public eye. Is it just, is it just club? Bohemian Club? Here, this one. It's like the Court of Owls from Batman or something like that. I mean, sure, I'm sure that, you know, was inspired by it, right? There's always like some kind of cult somewhere. But yeah, like Illuminati. So this video, yeah, so this video was posted almost 2 weeks ago, has 3.6 million views. The poster has about 6 million subscribers. So probably a lot of growth from this video alone.
That's me sneak.
Like I said, there's probably a whole lot of nothing and just like emptiness, Blur Witch status filming, but it is intriguing. 'Cause leak the unedited footage for you to clip. He posts, if I go missing, someone got to me. I love you guys. My mental health is 100. I would never self-delete. This video was fully AI generated. You know, as if that's like some kind of disclaimer or something like that. But yeah, you guys can find this video on YouTube and read the comments. We'll probably go through them at the end of this. But yeah, let's check this out. This is something my friend was telling me about last night. And she told me a whole laundry list of fucking things, and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Miyu? No offense, but do you have any sources? I mean, not that I don't believe you or anything. I love a good conspiracy theory, but I want to read about it. I want to watch about it. What are the sources, So she linked me a lot of stuff right before I went to bed. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dude, there's like over 20 different videos and articles here about different things. So this is probably like the first thing we're gonna delve into, because it's just happened recently. So let's check it out.
Sneaking inside Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, I'm cooked. I gotta run.
This is like Area
secret society
51 of
American
NorCal.
elites who gather in the woods 2 weeks out of every year to decide the future of the world and conduct human sacrifice rituals in front of a 40-foot owl god named Moloch. Or so the rumors say. Many have begun wondering what actually goes down here after famous boxer Ryan Garcia said this.
The babies, guys, babies! They're eating babies, literally! And I'm the crazy one!
So they're in with these bankers and former presidents, and some guy brings over something that it's an effigy that's supposed to be a body, and then they drop it on the fire, and they're all worshiping an owl god.
But
I don't
before
doubt
sneak
they
into the
fucking do
grove, What do
this.
the locals nearby know?
People be
From me, we get a
crazy.
owl. You guys know what the owl is?
Well, yeah.
Fuck owls. I don't trust them anymore.
Oh, no? No, we're just walking around and talking. I thought you saw it. We can walk
Look
away,
at this
though.
Steven
trying to learn what's
Spielberg
about the
looking
owl.
asshole.
Yeah.
Why is his
You don't
pants
know.
so
The
dirty?
locals were immediately on guard.
You know anything about the
Look.
Bohemian Grove?
I worked there before, yeah.
You worked
Oh my god, look.
You
Look
don't
at
know.
his pants.
The locals were immediately on guard. Oh, no, we're just walking.
What is all that shit on his pants? Is that like splattered blood from the dead babies that they eat? He's got that shit-eating grin on his face. That baby-eating grin. That baby shit-eating grin. Have you guys ever tried meconium? It's a delicacy, I hear. Around Bohemian Grove.
Walking around and talking. I thought you saw it. We can walk away, though.
We're just trying to learn what's going on with the owl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't know?
The locals were immediately on guard.
You know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
I worked there.
Do you know what meconium is?
Whoa, what did you
It's
see?
the first stool that a baby passes upon being
Miss,
born.
Theoretically, what might you have seen if someone were to work there?
I cannot talk about that.
Did you sign a document?
Nope, but I cannot talk about it.
Did you partake in anything?
Have a wonderful day, sir.
Okay. Wow.
Please be careful, okay?
Be careful. Do you think we're dealing with things that are much more powerful than
All I can say.
What did he see? You know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
I used to work there like 10, 15 years ago. Oh, I don't want to be on camera.
Oh,
You know they planned the bombing for Hiroshima and Nagasaki there?
what was that?
Never mind.
Everyone here knew something about the Grove until they saw my little camera.
It's probably not a good place to be going unless you know what you're doing.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of rich, crazy people up there.
You trying to get in?
My father was in.
Oh, he was in the club?
Squid Games.
Who was he?
He's a Mason,
Oh, he was a Mason.
39th.
Did you inherit his will? His Freemason will?
You can't. I can't disclose
Freemasons.
Okay. Is there anything we should know?
that. Probably not. Probably you don't want to mess with it.
Okay.
No, I'm done here.
All right. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate you. What would happen?
I don't know.
You know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
I know lots about the Bohemian Grove.
Would you like to share?
No,
Is there some darkness to it?
don't film me.
Why are they all just sitting around outside?
Get up there then.
Can't get in? You seen any crazy things or no?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I think a lot of naughty goes up there, you know. They just go free and let loose.
But luckily, I found a nearby crystal store with a lady who claimed to have folded George Bush's underwear when they came to town. Anything about the Bohemian Grove?
Too much.
What? If I lived in a town that was infamous for cult stuff, I would probably troll too. Just thinking that. I was literally typing a message about how everyone was just readily sitting on steps as you... Yeah, you know, they're all just like fucking sitting out there. Like, by themselves, not doing anything, contemplating the Bohemian Grove, waiting for the next unsuspecting passerby to walk up and ask them about the Bohemian Grove and put a little camera and microphone in their face so that they could just be like, hey, I wouldn't fuck with that if I were you. Bigfoot will come and get you. I'm sorry, what? Huh? Have a nice day.
Much? What do you know?
I have actually folded laundry for the Bohemian Grove before when I needed to, so all of their laundry
She folded their laundry?
is processed through the laundromat.
Oh,
that is around the corner. So I folded George Bush's sheets, for heaven's sakes.
His sheets? Do you think she snorted cocaine off some prostitute's panties while she was at it? Like before putting it into the wash and stuff, you know? She got like secondhand coke. Snort.
You will start to see a lot of helicopters flying in directly to the property. Bill Clinton's been there, George Bush has been there. It has been rumored that the next president is always decided there before it occurs, but that is a rumor.
Where I come from, we call that added value. Alright? That's a bonus. That's extra.
I've literally had Grovers. Some dude forgot his credit card and handed me his Grove card as collateral. And I'm like,
Grove ID.
And before the Grove happens, you watch a bunch of limos with high-end hookers come in. They're not allowed to bring women back to the facility, but the boys will stay off campus there. The other things that happen is they hit up all of the locals on where they can get drugs every effing year. There was a gentleman that I was blessed to serve at Main
fucking
Street's
told
bar
you
for about
guys.
6 years.
I fucking told you. I told you guys. I've never been. Disclaimer, I've never been there before. Don't look at me like that. I've never been invited. I don't know what I'm talking about. Bigfoot's not real.
Actually lived on the Grove year-round. You have to be exceptionally rich. You have to be like vetted in through family. And I believe he spent his dying years there. He was actually one of the really nice dudes. He would come into Main Street 3 times a week for dinner and drinks. It matters not what you have in life, it is how you treat others. So he was one of those that treated the janitor and the CEO with the same dignity and...
Can you really trust what this crazy bitch is saying, though? Look how many balls she has here. Look at these orbs. They're pretty. But there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're just like right here. They're not even like put off to the side. They're just like right here at arm's reach. You think she just sits there and just like rubs them all day? And she's got crystals here? You know what I mean? Now, did this all come and happen like after the secondhand crack snorting panties, or was she always this crazy? I mean, just look at it.
Respect, but not all Grovers are the same.
The owl is in his leafy temple. Let all within the grove be reverent before him.
While only elite, wealthy, and famous men are invited, combined with the extreme secrecy and security, this is the only real footage captured
Owl is
inside the
code
event
word
by
for
Alex Jones
Satan.
in the year 2000.
Yeah, see, Alex Jones.
Some believe a real human was being burned alive during the ceremony, and others believe these guys were just hammered, goofing around, letting loose, and talking business, and that there's nothing demonic.
Dude, if you're that rich and powerful, you're literally on top of the world, why wouldn't burning a human be letting loose and goofing around? You know what I mean? If I was that rich and powerful, I'd be down for a good old-fashioned barbecue. That's just another Tuesday.
Demonic or satanic going on here.
You think they're all fornicating with one another?
Would not surprise me.
Yeah.
That's where all the big wigs hang out.
Okay.
That's where they party.
Fornication?
Everybody, White House people.
You've been invited?
No.
Would you go if you were?
I have go. Oh yeah, I would. See, last time was what's his name running for president? Al Gore.
Okay.
He came through with his crowd, you know, black SUVs and all that stuff.
Dude, I saw Al Gore in person at the Chinese theater. I was at the red carpet premiere for Inception, and he gave a speech there about climate change. Because he's buddies with Leonardo DiCaprio, who only dates underage girls. So, for sure, it's all connected. They're all pedophiles.
I really don't know, except for just hearing stories. But who knows,
I sat behind a pedophile while watching Inception.
Engaging in any wizardry or druid craft?
I do. I believe that there's something magical, you know, spiritual or something out there. But the Bohemian, man, it's just it's a bunch of mystery.
And they got free unlimited. You go to the lobby of that theater, and they give you free unlimited soda and popcorn and nachos. You could just, it was just there, pre-prepared, but still like hot and fresh and stuff. And you just take as much as you want, the largest freaking sizes of any kind of soda. You didn't even have to stand in line. Listen, you didn't even have to fucking go and tell them what kind of drink you wanted, because the whole counter would just have, they would just be there. And it's not like it would be like, you know, cold and stale and, or like, you know, melted ice. It was all fresh and pre-prepped. And they just had like a line of freaking Pepsi and Coke, Mountain Dew, and Sprite and root beer. You wanted it, you name it, they had it. And you would just come up and take it, and your big ass bag of popcorn or a tray of nachos, and you could take literally as much as you wanted. You could get up anytime and go and get some more. I mean, it was crazy. And I was like stupid enough to like pull out my phone, because I was just trying to take a picture of the inside of the theater, you know? It was for the gram, you know? And they just like, some big buff dude in a suit just popped up literally out of thin air, like, and asked me to put my phone away, like, immediately. It was so weird. I just kind of like did a double take, and I looked around me and I was like, this big bodybuilder, you know, crush your head like a grape in his hand. He was like Doomfist. I didn't want to specify that he was black, but he was like Doomfist status. And I was just like, where was he hiding? Well, I mean, it was kind of dark in there, so it makes sense. But that's beside the point. So, but yeah, Al Gore was there, and Leonardo DiCaprio was there, and he was sitting next to this lady who looked like a giant fucking Q-tip. I mean, legit, she looked like an albino, and she had this big poofy flamingo-looking hat or something, and everything was just like white on white on white. I don't know who the hell she was, but she looked like old and young at the same time. It was weird. It was surreal. I don't know.
The country.
Workers at Bohemian Grove are suing the elite club for wage theft. In fact, One worker described members as obscenely wealthy, with private jets, multi-million-dollar cars, $200,000 watches, homes on the beach in Malibu. They said that they would have to perform tasks that were beyond their job duties, including such as one instance where a billionaire member forgot to bring underwear to the camp, and the valets were asked to hand wash it.
I remember when I was a child, my mom used to protest.
Oh my god, that's a fucking power play if I ever fucking heard of one.
Living exclusive
That is so
not sharing
fucking
I
privileged.
walked into a bookstore where the owner assured me he handpicked every book. Something about this town felt off.
Like, you can't go to Bohemia.
Sure.
What the fuck?
I see, okay.
Yeah, like there's security and fences.
And they don't stay here.
No, they stay there. It's super interesting. I mean, and you can find a lot of stuff online. There's not a lot of published stuff about it because they're really secret.
We've tried to go onto the grounds and they've told us to leave.
Ooh, you think if we tried again, we'd get in?
I'd try.
Yeah?
Yeah, try.
Hey there. Y'all know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
You can't go there.
Can't go there? Okay, you ever see them come through here?
No, not really.
No?
No, these guys are pretty secretive.
Alright.
You try to get in there and get caught, bye-bye.
I'm dead?
It's very possible. They got security left and right there.
Yeah, you'll get disappeared. You guys heard about the case of the missing 16-year-old girl that went missing in the Vatican?
So I headed down towards the nearby river to scout out a potential entryway via
Which
water.
side of the
Leaving
walls of
Grove
the
all
Vatican
the way
did she
over those
disappear
trees.
from?
The current looks
The
fast.
inside or the
We're looking to find
outside?
an owl out here.
I do know if you go down that road and take a left, if you keep going, there's like a barricade. It's like a weird fence. Almost
Yeah,
looks
she was like the
a
daughter of
wrapped
the
around it
Pope's
and everything.
clerk.
Really weird.
Creepy?
Kind of creepy. Almost like a Resident Evil kind of vibe.
Ooh. You know anything I should know about it?
Oh
Nah,
shit,
not
he
really, other
fucking
than it
said
has,
Resident
like,
Evil, you
security
guys.
Always on patrol with them.
Yeah,
So we get
that's how you know. That's how you know the shit is based. No, seriously. Yeah, you can laugh all you want, right? Haha, he's a Discord mod. You know? Who knows? This could be. How do we know that this isn't midnight? Right, this could be midnight for all we know. This could be midnight. And we would never know. But he dropped Resident Evil. So when this fucker says Resident Evil vibes, he's talking about like the mansion, right? It's all luxurious and nice, a little bit creepy, but what's underneath?
People would come
You
in
know?
for Bohemian and everything, and you can just tell by the cars and all that stuff. So
Lamborghinis or like SUVs?
a little bit of both.
If you were to see a Grove member, would you be able to recognize one?
Sometimes, like in the summer when they're there, because they have like certain, like they what is it, that all white thing sometimes.
They wear like all white garb?
Yeah, but not always.
That's a little bit spooky.
I know there's a bunch of
Oh, oh my god, there's ghosts in the woods. That is spooky.
I mean, yeah, but they charge way too much.
Oh, you've asked their price?
You know,
Be honest with me.
I'm thinking they ain't worth the bullshit to begin with. So,
I don't think so. Half of them know what they're doing around with, really.
Okay.
But I mean, mine looks like an ancient Sumerian god, and I'm sure you've seen this shit.
We saw an owl driving in here too.
Send a swarm of drones over there.
Somehow related to it, but there's a lot of owls around here too.
Have them fly through the redwoods like the stormtroopers in Star Wars.
Semitic god, I know they sacrificed children to him and stuff. The only one that we know about the big ritual there is they have that big owl statue, and they burn a child in effigy for the cremation of care.
The owl drum.
I think they have,
right?
possibly in the past.
With the binocular.
Really?
The fucking telelens
It's like
camera.
the rich guy's kind of private hideaway. So it's like the old rich men. They want to act like they're Boy Scouts again. But I mean, the guards are dicks. So.
Which he sounds fucked up.
Try to, like, record him
He's
a little
seen
bit.
some
They'll try to
shit
grab the
at the
camera, they're like,
Grove.
"Fuck you guys."
Actually?
Hell yeah. They get pissed.
Really?
He's still recovering.
Kid and they can come after
Mentally
us.
and
Like, when I was, like, 10
physically.
years old, you could like crawl under a barbed wire fence. Because, like up front, it's not that. It's not like a prison or anything. It's not crazy. But they would get pissed for sure.
There's a lot of rumors. I don't know what's true and what's not. I've never been there.
Just take a left and keep going. Then, when they stop you, then you are in the building.
After learning as much as I could from the locals and waiting until the cover of the
Hey,
night. It was now time to
that
see if I
was
could
World of
infiltrate the grove
Warcraft.
using an inflatable kayak I bought off
That was a
Amazon,
quest.
avoid security, and
Quest
make my way to the
accepted.
40-foot tall owl statue undetected.
Yeah. These guys are gamers.
Let's see if she floats.
Oh shit.
Yeah, just jump in, right? We think it floats.
On an inflatable?
It's like sinking immediately. Okay, I'll give it a shot.
The only problem was, the moment I got in this kayak,
I don't know if it's gonna float, dude.
it filled up halfway with river water, soaking me entirely, and the current was so fast I was getting pulled downstream and had no chance of paddling upshore where I needed to go.
I think I'm getting swept out. I'm fucked. The current's too strong, dude.
He's pulling an Alcatraz.
Dude, I'm cooked. Did you make it across? No, dude.
What the fuck? What a dumbass. They can't even work a canoe?
Got a branch.
I mean kayak?
I'm alive. Can you just get out? Dude.
What the fuck is this footage?
I'm halfway soaked in water right now. I'm definitely gonna get hypothermia. I mean, the closest, like, exit point, it's gotta just be up and through the woods, essentially. Yeah, branches are breaking. Something that looks climbable.
I don't know, but it was like one of those Chinese news clips where they reenact what happened. I don't know. This was made in China, I guess.
I made it ashore. I'm just trying to climb up the hill and get out of here. Kayak is gone. I'm fighting for survival.
After yanking myself out of the river and crawling my way through someone's backyard, I barely made it back to land. My kayak was swallowed by the river, and I had to think of another way to get in the grove before sunrise.
We need to re-strategize the game plan right now because I don't see any feasible way of going against the
What if they
all the
go
way across
here?
there. I don't think it's possible.
They go inside and infiltrate the camp and they find like Kim Jong-il getting a back massage smoking a blunt.
I failed to get in through the Russian
Like
River
that,
via kayak,
almost.
so now
But Kim
we're just
Jong-il.
gonna bull rush straight through the mountains, jump over any fences if I see them, and hopefully not get caught. It's 2 a.m. We're running out of time before
Maybe
the
that's why
sun
it's so
rises.
secretive.
It's time to get this done. Cheers.
Because we're not
5
supposed
hours
to
until
know that they're all
sunrise, plan was
buddies.
now to hike up the woods right to the left of the main entrance, stealth hike around the security, through the mountains until I made it to the owl.
Fuck. This is a curse. This is a cursed backup plan. We've paved a random mountain road.
I'm thinking this is probably the plan we should have done from the start.
You might be right. The kayak was a death sentence out there. I'm surprised I didn't die or drown.
You find
Water was
Osama and
cold, I was
Obama
full of
playing
water.
pool, having a
Blake's
few
legit gonna
beers.
Drop me off. I'm gonna rush into the mountains with no light. Just
Classic.
straight up. For legal reasons, this is all generated by AI. I'm a little bit shell-shocked from that last experience, and I am afraid of how this plays out. I do not want to go to jail. That would suck.
Here into the woods and go up the mountain. You might be in someone's backyard. A light might turn on like a, motion detecting light.
Sure.
Just power through it, go up the hill until you're...
The river is Russian?
Right there. Go up, go straight. Just up the mountain from here.
As I'm crouch hiking in pure darkness for 2 hours straight, I make it to this point on the map, and on my life, I hear what sounds like human feet crunching leaves in front of me.
Crimea River. Oh my, like that's a good one.
Just to double check, I wait in silence.
Nice
for 10
one,
minutes.
Panda. Crimea
I hear
River.
nothing. I move 10 steps to my right. I stop. I listen. I hear the same sound of footsteps crushing through the brush and what sounds like a person going. At this point, I'm afraid for my life. So I run down the hill and decide to bum rush the main gate and see if I can sprint my way to the owl without getting caught by security.
Oh. I gotta run. Chihuahua ran at me.
Scared out of my mind, I ran as far as I could to Blake in the getaway car, and we sped back to our hotel to think of a final strategy to get
Chihuahua?
into Bohemian Grove before sunrise.
Let's go. I met with the Chihuahua and I got to put your hands up.
Actually?
With 2 hours until sunrise, I drove back to the hotel, drank a Red Bull, and decided I would have to try one last time.
Right there. That's where you go. Okay, I'm going in. All right, brother. Pray for me.
They're viscous. Yeah, gelatinous. Chihuahuas are truly slimy.
5 a.m. When I jumped the gate this time, the guards must have been asleep or taking a dump because no one saw me and I ran into the cover of the darkness towards the owl, making sure to turn my flashlight off to remain undetected.
Just gotta hop the gate and get out. He's close, he's so close.
Couldn't they use, like, just put an... Like, they're using fucking flashlights. Why not use, like, night vision? Like, it's so obvious.
Truck just drove by.
As I
Or
planked
even,
on the ground, waiting for it
honestly,
to drive past
don't
me,
even use a
he whips the car to
flashlight.
the left,
Just let your
shining the
eyes
light straight
adjust.
onto me, and I run.
Gotta go. Curious on me. You just come on a little bit further, buddy. Get out of there.
Like, they're fucking YouTubers. You think they don't have the money or the tech capabilities to, like, use a drone or something? So dumb.
Hey.
Look at this Blair Witch footage.
I'm sorry. Hi, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you for sparing me. Goodbye. Sorry. I'm sorry. Drive. Drive. Holy shit. Didn't quite make it to the owl. I think I was on my ass. I made it to the cathedral thing. I saw him pull in. He went off-road. I was like, fuck, he's not messing around. So I sped out of there. And I made it out alive. Please don't sue me. We were just curious. I apologize. But you had to let us satisfy that curiosity.
While I risked my life to get a mere glimpse into the secret world of the powerful elite that decide on how us peasants shall live, just know that whatever happens, I would never kill myself. Also, whoever has the most viewed TikTok or YouTube short using a clip from this video, I'll send you $500. Post however many times you want, but you must tag my TikTok/YouTube @ and put YouTube Tyler
What if
Oliveira
it's
in the
just a
title
bunch
/
of rich
description.
people that just, you know, they want to enjoy the woods too? They want to go to camp. They want to go to summer camp, but they don't necessarily want to leave behind all the amenities they're used to, like the crack cocaine and the hookers, the high class hookers, asterisk, and you know, the legal immigrants for the Squid Games, because you know every sporting event needs athletes, right? So I bet there's a lot of that's like a favorite pastime of theirs. Lots of gambling. Yeah, you know, they just wanna go on camp for like a week and they all kind of do it together. I don't know. I'm not convinced. I didn't even see the owl, did you? I didn't see no owl. I didn't see no cult. I'm not convinced at all. It was a big nothing burger. Oh god, this one's like 40 minutes. We're not even scratching the surface here. I might play a lot of this stuff in double time or skip around
As
just to
of
get to the
recording
good
this video,
parts
we are
because
about 2.5
this
weeks
is a
into
lot.
2024. And if those 2 weeks are anything to go by, 2024 is going to be the craziest, most scandal, conspiracy, and disaster-filled year of our lives so far. It's almost like the further we progress through time, the more dangerous and bizarre the world gets. On this channel,
Disclaimer, the world's actually getting safer. Aside from the natural disasters and dwindling resources and the water wars and the potential solar flares and the inevitable eruption of the Yellowstone supervolcano and the I'm but for now it's safer. The Civil War and nuclear holocaust and aliens and Disease X. For now, crime is actually down from what it used to be.
I try to cover all the disturbing and strange topics that interest me, from conspiracy theories to internet horror and even old UFO footage. But in 2024, we've already been slammed with conspiracy theories, high strangeness, war, corruption, and scandals. So much so that I couldn't hope to keep up by making separate videos for every crazy story that comes out. So today we'll dive into the first of what I'm guessing will be 10 or so videos that'll drop over the course of 2024, in which I'll do my best to keep you up to date with all the bizarre stories that unfold over the course of the year. So if you're interested in at the Hinds County Penal Farm in Mississippi, a disturbing story that when studied and investigated further would
At the what farm?
begin to unravel into a conspiracy involving the Jackson Police Department. In March of 2023, Dexter Wade left his mother's house in Jackson, Mississippi. This would be the last time his mother, Betterson Wade, would ever see her son. After not hearing from Dexter for days, she eventually reported him missing with the Jackson Police Department. For 7 months, she never stopped looking for her son, calling the police department over and over and sending pictures of Dexter via email, asking the police department to maybe contact the media and show his picture on TV to see if anyone had seen or heard from him. Betterson Wade constantly begged the police department for help, but she would receive none. It wasn't until months later when a new investigator picked up her son's case and notified Miss Wade that her son was no longer missing, he was dead. See, Dexter had actually been struck by a police vehicle while crossing a road, just moments after leaving his mother's house months and months prior. Ms. Wade was notified in August, and it took her 2 months to even track down Dexter's body, which had been buried here in a pauper's field behind the Hinds County Penal Farm, a correctional facility where penal labor convicts are forced to work. The excuse for this tragedy given by the local police? No one was ever notified of Dexter's passing or burial because he was marked as a John Doe. But this is a lie, as Dexter was confirmed
God,
to have been
dude, can you
carrying his
imagine? You're
identification
just
on his
going
person
about
when
your
he was
shitty
struck by the
life.
police vehicle. Although
You
some
know,
would
you're
claim
just
this
going
is just
about
the
your
sloppy
day,
outcome of a slowed and
and
aging
you just
bureaucracy, there
happen to
actually seems to be
stumble
a pretty clear
upon
motive as to why
something
the
or
police would
someone
want to
that you
cover
weren't
this up.
supposed to
Betterson
see,
Wade was hesitant to ever involve
and
the
then now
police
you
in
have
her
to
son's
die for
disappearance
it.
because her 62-year-old brother died at the hands of the Jackson police in 2019 when an officer slammed him to the ground. The officer was convicted of manslaughter, but is currently appealing. So an officer in your department is potentially fighting prison time for a manslaughter charge. Then another officer strikes and kills the victim's nephew with a police vehicle during the appeal process.
At least let it happen when you're on your way to
But
work,
the eventual discoveries
rather
made
than
during
when
Miss
you're
Wade's
coming
desperate
home
search
from
for her
work.
son would only get darker and more disturbing. A pauper's field is a
So
place
then
where
you
people
don't have
that
to
are
go to
John
work
or Jane Does, unknown
or
or
had to
completely
work that
unclaimed,
day.
basically mystery people are buried. For example, a sad but kind of realistic example of a proper use of a pauper's field
If I
would
knew
be
I
if a
was
homeless
gonna
person
get
was found
murdered,
passed away with no
I
identification
would
or
not go to
assets of
work
any
that
kind,
day.
and there's no way of finding out who he is, he's not in this system, then he'll probably be buried in a pauper's field, which in a lot of cases means no coffin, no embalming process, and no headstone. Just a small metal rod sticking up out of the ground with a small number plate like you see here. Well, as of January 2024, 215 bodies have been located and exhumed from this pauper's field in Mississippi, and it seems as though many, if not all of them, have been put there for improper or even nefarious reasons, many of them being active missing persons. Dexter Wade is just one example of someone who was buried there, even though the authorities knew exactly who he was, and knew that his next of kin were absolutely out there searching for him.
Right? It's
12
like
of the bodies
a
exhumed
reverse
so far were
isekai,
clearly murder victims and all
where
buried within
your
the last
shitty
year.
life
They were all
finally
identified before
starts
burial, but no
improving,
attempt to reach or notify
and
next
then
of
you get
kin
hit
was
by a
made,
truck
leaving many,
only to
including
be
myself,
literally
with one
sent to
question.
fucking hell
Why?
of all
Many people online
places,
are now
and now
speculating that
you
there
have
could be
to
one or multiple
like
serial killers
endure
within either the
a
police
shitty
department or
existence
correctional
in
department. One
hell.
online article listed the names of these 12 victims. Marquita Moore, still desperate to find answers regarding her older brother's disappearance in February of 2023, immediately clicked on this article when she found it in October. Her brother's name, Mario, was second on the list. Marquita immediately made her way to Jackson PD headquarters and demanded answers. She was notified that her brother's body had been found lifeless on February 2nd, bludgeoned to
Dang,
death, wrapped in a tarp, and left
that
in the street.
hurts.
Like Dexter Wade, his body was then left in the Hinds County morgue for months. Then on July 14th, inmates at the penal farm were ordered to bury his remains. After this horrible process, Marquita was left certain that the police were hiding a dark secret. And another bizarre detail, Dexter Wade and Mario Moore were buried on the same day, July 14th. Jonathan Hankins was discovered dead by the authorities just days after he went missing on May 23, 2022, in a hotel room in Jackson. His death was listed as an overdose, and once again, the investigators were able to verify his identity immediately. But for some reason, the 39-year-old man's family was left devastated and questioning where their son had gone, appealing to the police, sheriff's department, and media for over a year before seeing the news of their son's body being discovered in this pauper's field this last December. Jonathan's story is hauntingly similar to the first two. Jonathan's mother Gretchen contacted the sheriff's department and police department every couple weeks for over a year, begging for information. She was told repeatedly that they had none. In a dark and ironic twist, the county is even charging family members in order to retrieve their loved one's remains from this mass grave. And it really seems like the only reason the public has any knowledge of this whatsoever is TikTok. Now, I'm not saying every single one of those bodies found in this mass grave are the victims of murder and then cover-ups by the police department. It's my suspicion that one or multiple serial killers within the police department or correctional facility or both are using their power, connections, and this pauper's field or mass grave to hide the evidence and victims of their crimes. As I said, as far as we know, all of these graves were dug by inmates of the Hinds County Penal Farm, which in and of itself is sick and twisted, and it's not like they have a choice. But I'd be very curious to hear what some of these inmates would have to say about what went on. There is some public pressure being applied to the police department in Jackson, Mississippi, but as of the time of under a synagogue in New York City, arrests are being made. A couple
Well,
weeks
these are
prior,
the
a
Jewish
construction crew was
tunnels.
digging a trench to install a water line when they stumbled on what seemed to be a tunnel. The police were notified, leading to the scenes that played out on social media. Before I continue, I just want to say that obviously this is an extremely volatile subject. Because of the religious views of the parties involved, tempers are flared and emotions are running very high. But I'm gonna cover this story, and I'm going to do it the same way I would cover it if a tunnel was found under a Catholic church, or a government facility, or a public or private school, and do my best to use my knowledge of the criminal element to examine the details of what little evidence we do have. So let's talk about the tunnels found under Brooklyn. Several videos surfaced online gaining millions of views, showing the chaotic scene in the global headquarters of the Chabad Lubavitch movement in Crown Heights, a deeply revered Jewish site. Now, it's important to know the Chabad is made up of two different sects. One sect, relegated to the lower levels of the Chabad, believe that their former leader, Rebbe Schneerson, now dead, was the Messiah and will be returning. The official story is that 10 young rogue members of this sect carried out the digging of this tunnel over the last 6 months, because their Messiah, Schneerson, had once planned to expand the building. But also, the official story is that the tunnel was dug throughout 2020 in order to avoid the tyrannical orders preventing the gathering of church services during the lockdown. What? Dueling official story narratives? That's always a good sign. Digging secret tunnels is a dangerously bad idea. Not only do you run the risk of being harmed by cave-ins, flooding, or electrocution, you could also damage utilities buried underground and destabilize the buildings you're digging under. Once again, according to the official story, police had been notified a couple weeks ago and arrived on the 8th to, quote, fill in the tunnels. This led to a riotous reaction from the members of the Chabad. From the footage, it seems as though some of the members ripped down a false wall hiding one of the entrances so that members could enter the tunnels in protest in an attempt to stop the NYPD from sealing them off. Some speculated online that this was done in order to buy time so that other people could hide potential evidence of some wrongdoing within the tunnel. As this crazy scene played out, someone even captured video of a Hasidic man exiting part of the underground system using a grate on the street level. This is the view of the tunnel from inside the grate. Now, this is where a lot of people online began to take issue, as it seemed a lot was going on in the tunnel while this whole scene played out. Many online were quick to point out that seemingly before the police arrived, members of the synagogue were seen hauling filthy, small mattresses away from the tunnel, with at least one having a suspicious dark stain where one would lay their head. High chairs can also be seen in the tunnels. This picture, taken from screen grabs of footage from within the tunnel, claims to show beer bottles, a plastic grocery bag, blankets, disposable pee pads, bloody rags, men's clothing hung out to dry, and a mop bucket and tarp. This short video shows a chamber completely filled with dirt from the excavation. You would think that even with the limited amount of photo and video evidence the public is privy
What were
to,
they
there would
doing in
be
the
a
tunnels?
full-blown investigation of the tunnel or tunnels. As a police officer or detective, you see a filthy child-sized mattress with a very disturbing, suspicious-looking stain being removed from a secret tunnel. You'd think you'd want to catalog that into evidence and maybe run some tests on it. While many online believe that the tunnel was built for travel purposes during the lockdown, or built within the last 6 months by rogue members of the church, thousands have supported the call for an official investigation. An investigation that will frankly never happen. The day after all this played out, the city showed up with cement trucks and welding equipment, and quickly sealed all entrances to the tunnel, even if the city leaders already knew for a fact that there was nothing of note in the tunnel and that no one had been harmed. A little transparency with the public would have gone a long way here. When the public is very worried and paranoid that something nefarious has happened, it's probably best not to immediately fill a potential crime scene with cement, as it seems like if there were crimes committed within the
Oh
tunnel,
my
the city had
God.
just done everything they
I mean, I
could to
heard
cover
about it,
up
but I
as
didn't
fast
know
as
the actual
possible. When a crime
story.
happens, you want to preserve the scene
Oh
so
my
that evidence
fucking
can
God.
be gathered, not
Yeah,
seal
the
it off
fact
and
that
destroy it
the
completely,
city
especially
sealed it
not when
off.
you have stuff like this laying around.
Ooh, they destroyed the evidence. Oh my God. That's disgusting and fucked up.
On January
He has
4th, it
cancer.
suddenly became public knowledge that our current Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, had been unreachable and unseen for 4 days. Essentially, he was missing, and the White House staff had no idea where he was. And though it would turn out that Austin was alive and would return to duty, the story piqued the interest of those with more conspiratorial sensibilities. The Secretary
don't
of Defense
think
is supposed to be one of the most
I don't think
important
he
people
really
on
does
the face
have
of the
it.
earth. He's the main man between the president and the military.
You know
the
what
last link
happened?
in the
I think something actually fucking happened that required him to, like, I don't know, go to Antarctica or something like that. Who knows?
nuclear response chain of command and the head of national security, someone that
Can't build a Lego set in New York City without 6 permits and bribing half the city. Oh, that's a joke. I thought you were gonna actually say something like, did you know that you can't build a Lego What? No way!
is made constantly aware of all threats to the nation, both at home and abroad. And with several
Yeah, it's like
ongoing
the
global
fucking
conflicts
million
and the US
dollar
basically fighting
toilet
multiple
in
proxy
San
wars,
Francisco.
you'd think he'd be busier and more in demand than ever. The Secretary of Defense is aided by both the Deputy Secretary and a special staff of assistants, and protected by U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Command, or CID special agents, as well as regular meetings
For
with the other
sure.
Joint Chiefs of Staff and the President.
For
So how does
sure.
this person go missing to the point where the White House staff, including the President, have no idea where he is or how to find him? Well, SecDef Austin is currently receiving treatment for prostate cancer. Depending on what news source you're reading, he either had an elective surgery or was admitted to the ICU in response to that treatment and was in the hospital for a full week recuperating. And as much as I empathize with him, because let's be honest, that is a terrifying ordeal, it is a scary situation for the public. The top people at the White House had no idea where he was until 2 hours before the public statement concerning his sudden disappearance, and Congress wasn't notified until 15 minutes before the public. Austin is now back in the saddle and has made a public apology, vowing to do better.
Of the Ukrainian military. So I urge this group to dig deep to provide Ukraine with more life-saving ground-based air defense systems and interceptors.
This situation has given new life to an age-old conspiracy theory, the theory being that basically our elected officials aren't really in charge, and that someone or something else is in control.
Whoa, what was that about? The Black Eye Club. Oh my gosh. Wait, did he have a black
Life
eye?
to an age-old
systems and interceptors.
This situation has given
Saving ground-based air defense.
I can't tell. Can you help me? Some online commenters have claimed this footage has been manipulated using AI. Oh my god, Crystal. Mods, that's fucked. Mods, can you moderate my mod, please? Shut. I think, yeah, for sure they do. Press 1 if you think they are the puppet masters, and press 2 if you think they are not the puppet masters. Look at all these fucking red-pilled freaks in chat. What? I like blue raspberry, so I took the blue pill. Blue tastes better. Tastes good. Actually, no, I drank red gamer sups earlier today. I made the emotional damage one. That's why we're having this stream that we are. That's why the topic and the title is what it is today, because I drink emotional damage. And I thought about the blue raspberry, but then the one I picked up out of my cupboard was not caffeinated, and I said, fuck that shit, I need energy today.
Systems and interceptors.
This situation has given new life to an age-old conspiracy theory, the theory being
Aw.
that basically our elected officials.
Dude, oh my god. Who's that? I don't even know who that is. That's Carrie. That's the Pope Francis. That's the Republican guy. That's the other Republican guy. He looks like a Republican guy. And I know he's a Republican guy. They're all Republicans. Even the Pope.
Officials aren't really in
So they're...
charge, and that someone or something else.
Dude, Do you think this year or next year Trump is gonna be in that club? He's gonna get a black eye
Is in
too.
control, be it a global
For
organization
Christmas.
or criminal enterprise or parasitic alien overlord. Which, yeah, that sounds insane, but with how crazy everything else has been, sure, I'll buy it. All jokes aside, it is very strange that the person who, in a nuclear retaliation,
Did anyone feel like April Fool's Day wasn't real this year? And I don't mean it in the sense like it wasn't actually like it didn't happen. Like we obviously it happened, but didn't it just feel like very diminished? Like, oh, it's April Fool's, haha. We're gonna get some stupid funny trailers from some game companies and movie IPs. But, you know, as to where in previous years, April Fool's actually felt like something special. But now it just feels way, way overblown. It's like fucking the Black Friday effect. No one gives two shits anymore about it. Same thing with St. Patrick's Day. Why do we even celebrate that joke of a holiday? It's not a real holiday. Or Easter. Pregnant Airy isn't real. Yeah, it is, Crizzle. It is real. I'll prove you wrong one day. Nobody even tried to get me. And asked a friend to fix a Gunpla paint job I messed up. He said he's thinner and it destroyed the plastic. Ooh, oh my god. Is that even a friend? Sheesh. Companies nearly backlash for not actually getting cool shit. Yeah, like the Pal World thing. And the other one. Did you guys see the one for... Yeah, we watched it, I think, right? The Nikki one? Or maybe I watched it. It was like an espionage Metal Gear Solid wannabe game. Stuff happened, said he took parts from this. Oh.
scenario advises the president directly on whether or not he should push the big red button. Interesting, because I find it really interesting that discussing Deutsche Bank's involvement with Jeff, a fellow attorney posing as postman, showed up at her door, shot her son and husband.
Tired of hearing about Epstein because I know nothing's gonna happen from it.
FBI was
Nothing
searching his
did.
New York City mansion, they found a large safe in
Didn't
the
they
fifth floor
release the
dressing room.
fucking
They cut the safe
papers
open with a saw, and inside found
of the
labeled hard
names,
drives
but
and
nothing
CDs
happened?
containing hundreds of hours of video and thousands of photos. We know that nearly every inch of Jeff's island was wired for video and audio. You can only imagine what kind of evidence those hard drives and CDs contained. And you'll have to imagine it, because it was revealed by an FBI special agent during Ghislaine
Where
Maxwell's
even is
trial
Epstein
that the evidence
Island?
found in the safe went missing. So what's my point? A lot of people keep saying this or that is a distraction from the Epstein stuff. But what important, actionable information has actually been released to the public? And what is being done about it? None and nothing. Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for trafficking, but none of those people she trafficked children to are even being named. It's almost like these empty document releases
We
are
lost
the
it all.
distraction. But the strangest recent detail about this whole thing was Megyn Kelly's take.
Fascinating, and we're not done with Jeffrey Epstein. I can tell you that for a fact. Can't tell you how I know, but I can tell you for a fact we're going to hear a lot more about Jeffrey Epstein in the coming year, and you may be even hearing from him directly. More on that as I'm allowed to tell you.
Giving new life to the 2019 theory that Epstein wasn't really dead,
Jesus,
but instead switched out with
Epstein?
a body double. So let me know, do you think we'll be hearing from Epstein directly in 2024?
Oh my god, the fucking jellyfish UFO. This is what I'm here for. This
On
is it
January
right
9th,
here.
a very interesting piece of UFO footage began to circulate mass media. The footage was leaked by Jeremy Corbell as part of his documentary. Jeremy's post about the footage reads, Today we release raw footage
Holy
of a military
fuck.
filmed UAP incursion within a United States Joint Operations Base. Now, I take most things from Corbell with a large helping of
See,
salt,
it
as it's
looks
pretty
like the
clear
thing
he's hitched his
from
financial wagon to the
StarCraft.
whole UFO disclosure entertainment industry.
Nice
He
one.
has cut his teeth
Mwah.
in the
Thank
business
you,
by
Trucker.
finding legitimate
投げキッスだよ。
military
So
sources
sweet of
interested
you.
in telling their stories and sharing their footage of compelling
Chucker
anomalous
just
activity.
gave you a
So what do
kiss,
you think of this
16.
jellyfish-like UFO? I don't always cover stuff like this,
Will you
but
kiss him
something
back?
about this footage just seems very real and bizarre to me. It
Mwah.
just has this really eerie feel to it.
Kiss your homies.
On New Year's Day 2024, concerned citizens in
This
Miami
one too. Dude, we're getting into it. I need to get my Easter egg chocolates. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Cadbury egg chocolate. It's this. They're like premium deluxe M&Ms. Sometimes I wish they had nuts in it, like a peanut, like the peanut M&M. But it's like, imagine a M, a what? Imagine a peanut M&M without the nut. And then for some reason, the shell, it just tastes and like smells like creamy. You know, it's weird. It has like this like pleasant creamy scent to it. It's really good. But that's all I did for Easter. That's as Easter as I got. And I do like these, but these are way too fucking sweet. These are like Sudoku bombs for me. If I wanted to go out the sweet way, I would probably just drop a 5-pack into my mouth. And you would never hear from me again. 'Cause I'd be probably like, you know, comatose. I'm gonna get some chocolate. You guys get snacks because this is getting good. This is getting good. And I have more stuff on the list. And it's gonna get fucking crazier. And, sorry. I forgot to mention that I was gonna let the dudes out. Dude, it feels so nice outside. Sometimes I want to go for like a walk at night and take the dudes out, but then I don't want to end up on one of these videos. So I guess I won't do it. But it was nice to stand around outside. I also got drugs at my doorstep, so that's fun. Not at midnight, but when it's dark out or something, I don't know. I used to do that when I was younger, but that's like with a group of friends. Like guys and girls. Then we would do graffiti. Sneak into the abandoned hospital. Break stuff. But have lots of sex. Huh? Huh? Listen. This shit pisses me off right here. You know why? Because of just how little came out from this. There's no way you can tell me they had this many officers, all these people, in a crowded mall. I mean, who even goes to malls these days, right? But I'm just thinking, like, there's more stuff. Think of all the coverage there is for, like, sad to say, but like, you know, like a shooting. Or even just like a police arrest gone wrong. How many bystanders there are with their phones and stuff. I don't know.
Rumors began to emerge that there was a massive power outage in the area, that flights out of the Miami International Airport had been grounded, and airplanes en route to the airport were being routed away with only a sole black helicopter left hovering over the scene, and that the police at some point had cut the public's access to the police scanner. And seemingly out of nowhere, while the incident was still very much ongoing, there was a second, far different narrative that spread like wildfire on X and TikTok. Some people who claimed to have been at the Bayside Marketplace during the disturbance alleged that the police were not responding to a brawl, but instead to lock down the area in order to stop an incursion by otherworldly beings. Allegedly, the interlopers were described as 7 to 10 foot tall creatures. They had apparently entered the mall only to be fired upon by terrified mall patrons, those being the gunshots that witnesses from outside the mall complex reported hearing. Now, let's stop there. Do I believe that aliens or giants decided to ring in the new year by going on a shopping spree in Miami? Honestly, no. And although there is no evidence, or maybe even just a tiny little crumb of evidence for an alien encounter, I believe there is ample and extremely obvious evidence that something bizarre occurred. So let's start with the big, juicy claims of the 7 to 10 foot tall alien creatures. I believe that most of these claims are stemming from 3 sources. First, we have this video, where miraculously, even though we have crystal clear 1080p footage of the area and cop cars from the same night, here we get an extremely blurry look
up,
at
Sora?
one of the creatures, which, like, come on, no. I don't think so, no. Some people are saying that these creatures have some kind of hold over technology, or emit some kind of electromagnetic frequency to mess with people's cameras. Which, sure, but I don't think that's what this is. If that were the case, would the creature just slightly lower the quality of the video and put a blur effect over himself? Or would he completely scramble the device, showing nothing? It's been pointed out that these are actually 3 cops walking side by side. I don't know about that either. To be clear, I do believe in aliens. I don't know if they're from outer space, but I do believe in aliens. I just don't think this is one. Then we have this eyewitness who came forward about his experience.
No cap, I looked back, it looked like a big ass shadow, but it was solid at the same time, like a few shadows, but they were solid at the same time, and it almost looked like they was coming our direction, like they was chasing us.
Only to immediately recant the next day.
But for real, like real shit though, on the dead homies, I was trolling. I ain't never even been to Miami. Yo, y'all be bugging.
Real
now,
shit,
of course,
though.
a lot
I
of
was
people
trolling.
online that really want this thing to be true are saying like, oh, the Men in Black must have gotten to him. Someone got to him. Again, I don't think so. If you watch him in the first video, he has kind of a not so subtle smirk that he's just barely containing. It's called Duper's Delight. You see it all the time with crisis actors. He's excited, giddy even at the idea that he's pulling one over on someone. Then in his recant video, he seems genuinely chill about it. A lot of people think they want their notifications popping off, and then when it happens, it's just too much and they don't want to deal with it. When you wake up and your phone is just blowing up and 70% of it is people calling you a liar, you're either going to double down on your story or try to nip it in the bud as soon as possible. This guy just seems like he's busy, stuff to do. No time to be the key witness to a potentially volatile situation involving the police and 2 very heated opposing sides. I do believe in the Men in Black. So do some very high-level Air Force personnel, and several scientists, researchers, and witnesses to the paranormal that claim that they have been visited by the Men in Black. By all accounts, an encounter with them is at best deeply unsettling, and at worst, life-altering. This man neither looks deeply unsettled nor recently life-altered. He looks amused, if not slightly uncomfortable with his 15 seconds of fame. Next, we have this series of tweets. Are they still called tweets, or are they X's? Someone help me, I hate it here. These tweets were posted by Moab2597. I was at the Miami Mall yesterday, and the government is lying. There were no kids fighting. Everyone started panicking because these gray creatures were walking around. They didn't make any noises or sounds, but stared and watched you move. I tried to make a video, but every time I would try to, it would just bug out. They set a perimeter and wouldn't let anyone out or in, unless they went through their photos. We were visited by aliens, and the government is covering it up. They were about 6 to 7 feet tall and walked very slowly. They could turn their head around completely, and it seemed like they could change forms, like they didn't have any bones, and could just bend their body in whatever way. No fingers or feet, just arms and legs. They could also seemingly teleport. They weren't walking around normally, but instead disappearing and then quickly reappearing somewhere else. This allowed them to walk through some of the glass displays in the mall and through walls. You couldn't escape if they wanted to kill. But they didn't seem aggressive, nor did they seem like they wanted to kill anybody. It almost seemed like they were lost, but they also weren't scared of the army of police that was all around. They must have felt like they were far superior. This was posted earlier, and I cannot verify its authenticity. All I can say is that it looks very similar to what I and others reportedly saw. No fingers or legs, anatomically consistent with a being that glides as opposed to steps. Update. People have been walking up to my door all night, sunglasses on for some reason. Why would they wear sunglasses at night? I am arranging to leave area. I am willing to share my story to one person, enough to share my truth without having to fight to be believed. But here's my problem with these tweets. They were sent on January 5th, days after the event occurred. Moab posted memes on January 1st at noon and January 4th at 7 a.m. So if they were at the mall and did see aliens and have this insane encounter, why didn't they share it right away? Coincidentally, they didn't share their experience until January 5th, after the entire thing had gone completely viral. There has also been another little wrinkle over the last couple days. Some people online are now claiming that some teens either used a spirit box or some kind of technology to open a portal within the mall. The narrative spans from some kind of hidden Tesla-era technology to like Ouija board ritual type stuff. This claim seems to have originated from a TikTok user known as PortaTalk. who claimed to have been in the area in Miami for a graffiti expo. But I couldn't find anything about a graffiti expo on January 1st in Miami online anywhere. There are several graffiti museums in Miami that offer showings.
This is completely off topic, but this thought just crossed my mind when he mentioned the word Tesla. Imagine they did a Back to the Future remake or like reboot. But instead of using the DeLorean as a time-traveling vehicle, they used a Tesla.
And tours, but nothing about any kind of major exposition. And this is the artist's rendition of what he allegedly saw.
That's even worse. I was at least picturing the Model 3.
My opinion about a lot of these people that are claiming to have seen these things are that they were most likely nowhere near Miami or in Florida even, and just knew that they would get a lot of attention if they were the first ones to claim certain details about the event. And some of them have gotten a lot of attention. It's some of the more mundane details that are, to me, very interesting. And it's those details that lead me to believe that it was probably something more than a brawl between adolescents that occurred at the Bayside Market. In addition to the bizarre claims about the 7 to 10 foot aliens, oddly enough, all flights to and from the Miami International Airport may have been canceled or delayed for the night. I say may have because there's not very much information on this other than a few users on X, but they at least have some evidence. As far as I can tell, the airport closure or no flights in and out rumors originate from Nola Nurse RN on X, posting updates about the power outage that had occurred that was affecting around 60,000 homes in the Miami area, and screenshots of a flight radar tracking app showing that all air traffic had been grounded except for one police helicopter. It also seems that during the whole event taking place, police may have cut the public's access to their police scanners, which might make sense if they were responding to a coordinated multiple active shooter event, but we know from the official story that's not what they're saying happened. I'm gonna stop here for a second and just say this whole thing is so weird. It's like some people claim that there's no air traffic and there's power outages and fluctuations, and the police may have cut access to the police scanners, and they post various images and video clips to kind of back their claims up. Then people go in their comments and start talking about how there's all these massive 10-foot aliens there. And then other people come in and say stuff like, no, you're using the police scanner app wrong. You don't know what you're looking at when you look at the flight tracker. But then ego gets involved in some of the people that were just providing small shreds of evidence to kind of add to the story of whatever was happening, are now vehemently defending the fact that it must be this alien thing because that's the narrative that their little piece of evidence got attached to. It could be an ingenious strategy for information control. Now, I took a look at the outage map on the Florida Power and Light website, hoping that they had some kind of history function where you could go back and see like past outages, but unfortunately they did not have any function like that, so we kind of have to rely on these screenshots, which I don't think they're fake. These were posted at around 8:30 p.m. like while the situation was ongoing, and it would just be kind of a weird detail to make up, but I guess they're all weird details. So that goes for the flight tracking screenshots too, so it is my opinion that those are legitimate. I do believe there was probably a large power outage. Even though you can see lights in the footage, that doesn't mean other nearby areas weren't affected. And I also believe that for a period of time, flights were grounded. Now, do I think that means aliens? No. Do I think it's weird? Yeah. But we're not at theory time yet, so let's continue. This area, like most high population density areas in the world right now, is plastered in CCTV. And a lot of high-end shops, like the ones in Bayside Marketplace, would have high-res footage of whatever happened that night. So we should ostensibly have a lot more footage of these fights from inside the mall, or of whatever chaos may have occurred to require such an overwhelming police response. I don't think a lot of people that heard this story are kind of looking at the footage and stopping to think, when was the last time they saw this kind of response? Maybe at the Route 91 shooting in Las Vegas, which was a major terror attack. It was a huge event, but I don't think we ever saw any pictures or video of like this kind of police presence. A police representative even said in a clip that it was a call for all units to respond. I just have a very, very hard time believing that this was all over a fight, something that unfortunately happens 50 times a day, every day, in every major city in America. And yes, that is including the potentiality that firecrackers may have been lit that caused a panic that there was a mass shooter. I would think that by the time the first 15 cop cars arrived, they would have the threat assessed and taken care of. When all is said and done, 4 teenagers
It
were
did drop
arrested.
today.
4.
Yeah.
I'm not a cop. I don't know how this stuff works, but this seems very excessive. I can't show this clip because what's happening in it would most likely get the video taken down, but this is a screenshot of what the news media is
So,
kind of circulating
thanks for
to
dropping by.
excuse why there were so many police.
Happy
The clip shows
Sigma.
maybe 15 young men
And
ganging
yes,
up
Panda.
and attacking another man. That's it. The police surrounded this entire complex for hours and arrested 4 people. So what is my theory? I think something very strange and probably scary did occur. I find it really weird that we're not getting any footage from inside the mall or any patrons from the mall. No interviews outside the mall detailing what happened. No morning after interviews describing the chaos. Only this word from the MPD.
So I can confirm to you all here today right now that there are no aliens in Miami in Bayside Marketplace at the moment.
When you try to look any of this stuff up, all you get is stuff like this. And it's kind of perfect because
I
the
don't
no
know, this is
footage
still pretty
argument works
scary.
for both sides. There were aliens in the mall. Well, everyone has a camera. Where's the footage? There was a mob of teens attacking each other and lighting fireworks off at the other mall patrons. Well, everyone has a camera. Where's the footage? So, in my opinion, one of 3 things happened. 1. A group of teens used either
Cover
suppressed
up.
Tesla technology or dark magic.
He's just standing there,
Bustling Miami Mall.
menacingly.
And then people that were almost certainly not there are the only people to come forward about what actually happened. And this is the worst government cover-up of all time. 2. A large group of rambunctious teens were reported for lighting off fireworks at patrons in a bustling Miami mall, in a city where violent crime occurs literally every day. And the entire police department responded, as though there was very real, very solid intelligence that a terrorist attack was either happening or about to occur. 3, my favorite option, because I both believe in and find high strangeness subjects to be fascinating, and frankly know more about the way the world's governments actually function than I'd ever wanted to. Something else happened. Something that the public is not supposed to witness or wouldn't fit in with any of the currently accepted narratives that hold society together in a fragile balance. For now, war has evolved. It's information, it's infrastructure, it's acute nicks that eventually lead to total destabilization. The planes may have been grounded because there was actionable intel of a real threat towards the airport. Flashing lights tend to be attention grabbing. What if all of them were here, so no one looked over here? Except for maybe this nurse. The power outage clearly didn't affect the mall area, but it may have been indicative of a larger attack on the surrounding area. Also, some very important people spend a lot of time and have some very valuable assets in that area. I know it's not as fun as 7 to 10 foot aliens, but a lot of the aspects about this case kind of remind me of the 2016 Las Vegas incident. But now with the absolutely mad escalation of everything, has the system finally figured out he could have been occurring in the area, mistaken for some kind of attack or criminal activity by another agency? It happens. And when those sort of things happen, pretty much the only
Guys, that was legit the first time I've ever gotten a pop-up like that. No, I got a weird... No, I got an... That was the first time that I got, like, OBS disconnected pop-up. And it was, like, with a yellow, like, caution exclamation mark thing. It was weird. It just like flashed on my screen for a split second. I never had that before. Oh
The only
well.
thing that's important to these agencies is not being exposed.
Weird.
Taking all of this in over the last couple of days, a question kind of popped up in my mind. How often is the conspiracy theory part of the cover-up? Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please comment down below what you think happened at the Miami Mall. I'm totally open for other interpretations. This is just how I feel after kind of obsessing over it and looking into everyone's bizarre claims over the last few days. I am really absolutely not trying to hate on anybody that believes something.
Weird, right? Mm. Hi, Panda. You sleep well. If you don't hear from me ever again. Just know that I still want it. I have a bajillion links. Not even a million, a bajillion. Some of them are YouTube videos. Some are articles, some are like Reddit posts. So let's do like a variety. This is from 3 years ago. I believe I've come across this chart before. She linked it to me, so I'll just open it. Detached from reality and grounded in reality. So things that actually happened. Like the Bohemian Club, look, it's right there. It's at the very bottom. MK Ultra. What's that even say? I can't even read it. Something speed. John Lennon. Big tobacco. Lied about cancer. I was spied. That makes sense. Yeah, don't you guys know that Paul McCartney's dead? Paul is dead. They put it in the album covers, they put it on a record. When you played it backwards, the message is there, Paul's dead, he's dead. Yeah, he died. They replaced Paul McCartney. And did you know that Ringo? Ringo means apple in Japanese. And this NSA surveillance. An Apple Star. Speculation line ends here. Epstein didn't kill himself. Princess Diana. Yeah, Princess Diana was total murder. Area 51, JFK assassination, UFOs, Roswell, Marilyn Monroe. Free Britney. Yeah, her conservatorship. Denver International Airport. Yeah, more or less, you know. Hey, thanks for that. Imagine it's just like, oh yeah, thanks for that. Thanks. Anyways, continuing on. Sorry for the rude interruption, you guys. The audacity, some people. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Panda. Oh my god. I want to open it in a new tab right now. Wildfire. I know, right? But you know what's better than 30 Crunchwrap Supremes or so? Eating 30 Crunchwrap Supremes or so in one of these babies. Oh yeah. We got pockets on 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 pockets. We have so many pockets, look. That's where your Crunchwrap Supreme goes. That's where your fire sauce goes, and some more over here. This is where your nacho fries go. And your crunchy taco. And whatever this is, I'm not really sure. Let's just pretend it's, I was gonna say cinnamon twists, but they obviously go here. I stand corrected. Some napkins that have a stain on them already, it looks like. There's our burrito supreme. And probably another taco, slightly unwrapped, and oh, look at this. Holy shit, this is a whole fucking conspiracy in and of itself, you guys. This might be tonight's real conspiracy. Dude, I am starting to be convinced that this is part This is gonna be part of my end of the world arsenal. This is gonna be my battle attire. This should be yours too. If you're gonna be a survivor, this should be your BDU right here. Suit up. See, look, suit up. Put on a pair of combat boots. Get your Doc Martens. Some steel toes. Look, the schematics and everything. 4 rolled tacos. A quesadilla. Taco. Burrito. That's a V. You got 6.5-inch Crunchwrap Supreme. That's the diameter. 1 inch deep. And her Baja Blast. I would put my stethoscope on this. I would just hang it around my neck. My Whitman stethoscope. Stethoscope. I always liked scrubs that were more tactical. Especially when working like in the OR and PACU and stuff. There's just a lot of things that you could use pockets for. Syringes, IV kits, gauze, scissors, your stethoscope. Rectal thermometer. God forbid you squirm when I insert the rectal thermometer and the glass breaks in your anus. Yeah, just keep still. I'll put a little bit of petroleum jelly there for you. Maybe some KY jelly if you're lucky. Nah. Look at this one, leaving reality now. Avril Lavigne replaced. You guys know that Avril Lavigne got seriously fucked up from ticks? She got fucking Lyme disease. Did you guys know that about her? I knew that about her. Well, if you really were her skater boy, you would have known, Crizzle. Elvis Lives, Prince Charles Vampire, Mattress Firm. I believe Mattress Firm. That shit is for trafficking. There's no way that there needs to be so many fucking mattress firms, you guys. Who's buying beds? When's the last time you guys bought a bed? How long ago? I never bought a bed. My bed is old as fuck. It's hand-me-down. What the hell? No, I hate you guys. I'm one of those people, like, you probably don't even know what it's like to sleep on an actual good bed. No, that's not true, because I've been in the hotels and stuff. I don't know. How often are you supposed to get a new bed? Yeah, me too, Abba. We're handicapped. The Beatles never existed? No, that's not true. Aliens built Stonehenge? No, they built the pyramids. Who made this fucking chart? Get your facts straight. Crop circles? Greta Thunberg is a time traveler. Alien abductions real. Bigfoot also real. Bigfoot is from the Bohemian Club. Loch Ness Monster. And cryptids. Here we go. Science denial territory. COVID was made in a lab? What? No, it was made in a lab. 5G? I believe in 5G. What's a soy boy? Like a femboy? What is it? Tell me. Dang, by that description, that does sound like you guys, so. Wow. Hit the nail on the head there. But then how does that deny science? Because obviously you're here and you guys exist, so I don't understand how a soy boy is like not real. You're a soy boy. We also have anti-vaxxers. Global warming hoax. Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. Might as well just say Bush did 9/11. Government-made diseases. How is that science denial? Who is this made? This is made by the CIA. Chemtrails. Essential oils cure all diseases. Yeah, there's fucking nurses who like believe this and they peddle it to each other and to their patients, and it makes me feel ashamed. I mean, like, they smell good, but they don't do shit. So does a can of fucking Febreze. Go huff it. Probably already are until they got there. Finland doesn't exist. Do you guys hear about it? The recent thing that happened in Finland? Disease is spreading. Yeah, 12-year-old. Here, the anti-Semitic point of no return. World ruled by supreme shadow elites. Once you believe, one you usually believe most. Get help. QAnon. Follow the white rabbit. I don't even know what that is. Illuminati. I believe the Illuminati. Subliminal messages from a ruling class on children's TV. Yeah? The Simpsons? The Simpsons, and they always predict everything, and then SpongeBob and Disney. The deep state. True. George Soros. Who's that? White genocide. Elders of Zion. Cultural Marxism. Sandy Hook fake. Moon landing faked. Nazis on the moon. Satanic cult panic. Why does that sound like a band name? Satanic cult panic. Nightmare at the Disco. New World Order. That's what Illuminati is with the deep state and QAnon. Celebs moisturize with children's foreskin? Bill Gates microchipping. No, Elon beat him to that. Flat Earth. What if you rewrite this and flat is justice? Then you're just cunny-pilled. Holocaust denial. Pizzagate. What if Pizza Hut changed their name? They rebranded and called themselves Pizzagate. Reptilian overlords. That's the Illuminati. Wayfair. Oh god, the Wayfair stuff with the furniture and the child sex trafficking thing. Mars slave colony. I mean, probably. Antifa International. starting wildfires. How many of you believe in, like, one thing here? Press 1. You don't have to say what it is that you believe. But, you know, one thing here. And it's a pretty big list, right? Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, I'll put a 1 down too. Okay, how many of you believe in 2 things here? I won't ask if you believe in 3 or more, but, you know, 2 things. Give me a big picture, damn you. Yes, there. Here, Bara, is it possible Wayfair involved in human trafficking with their WFX utility collection? Or are these just extremely overpriced cabinets? Note the names of the cabinets. This makes me sick to my stomach if it's true, sad face. Naraya storage cabinet. Yuritsa storage cabinet. Samia. Olivia. So I guess it's like IKEA-ish names. But the prices. So then the whole scandal and controversy was that you're not actually, like, paying for a cabinet. It was a way to, like, hoarder people through the internet or something. I don't know. See, look. Oh, after missing children. 'Cause they are selling children. Well, I didn't quite know that, but that's a little creepy. You know, I've ordered something from this website before. I have it here with me, in fact. And no, it's not a person. It was, artificial flowers. But I wouldn't believe this. This would probably be like my second thing on the list that I would believe in. On that, because I mean, here. Ellen questioned for Wayfair partnership amid conspiracy theory. I would believe this. Now imagine if you were a kid and you woke up in some damp, dark basement somewhere, and then in walks Ellen DeGeneres. You're like, oh, thank God. I'm a huge fan, by the way. Can you please help me? And then she just looks at you and scoffs and walks away laughing. And you're just there like, damn, you're not even gonna like do a little dance or something? That's how you know you're fucked. Yeah, going through all this stuff is like, yeah, I believe it. And then here it's like, yeah, I believe in something here. You know? And even if it's like not believing in it, I would just be like, yeah, the Denver International Airport, that's pretty sketch. Even the horse statue's sketch. It's just weird to me. Matches from his sketch. COVID-19 made in a lab in Wuhan. Or here. Or here. Of course, China's gonna be the easy scapegoat. And then Illuminati. You guys can't tell me that you don't believe in the Illuminati. Do you see how weird fucking like Jay-Z and Beyonce are now? They're fucking Illuminatified. And Kanye and stuff. You know what I mean? You can easily look at this picture and take the lead and say, hey, you know, we're gonna give you guys massive amounts of money and deals and businesses and contracts and whatever you fucking want. But, you know, just do what we say. And they're like, okay. You know? That's Illuminati. You know, hey, do the thing for our sponsor. What thing? Oh, you mean this thing? Yeah, okay. Always. They never did this stuff until they got huge and famous, like really big. He wants to be Jay-Z. Did you guys see the music video for the new Beyonce song? I know Midnight did. Did you guys see it? The Texas Hold'em thing? It's not even a good song. I'm not in the club, so I can talk about it. This is the official lyric video. Here.